Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. We're here. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. With that being said, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Organic herbs and botanicals, skincare and edibles, wellness for body and mind. The Brothers Apothecary. Fine teas and remedies. Ronald Records. From indie gems to classic hits, discover the heart of local music. With live shows all the time, up close and personal, and regular releases on their in-house label. Ronald Records. Supporting the community, one track at a time. All right, thank you all so much for watching. Again, shout out The Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. With that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guest.
What's cracking with it? My name is Hussle Raimone.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, who you are, where you're from, what you do, give us that Tinder profile and your involvement with music.
Well, my name is Hussle Raimone, of course. The name originated from Nipsey Hussle, of course. He was my favorite rapper, so I put the Hussle in front of the Raimone. From Portland, Oregon, St. John's.
Okay, hell yeah.
Northeast Portland-ish type of thing,
Yeah, have you been here your whole life?
Yeah, whole life. Been here my whole life, I was born and raised in Northeast, North Portland, but I was all around Portland, Oregon as a kid.
I gotcha.
I was taking the bus at 7th grade. My mom started putting me on the bus. So
no, I feel that where I went to school growing up, it was only public transit.
Mm-hmm.
Once you got that bus pass, you're like, I can just go everywhere.
Yeah, and that was when we had we didn't have GPS. You had to follow the maps on the thing, turn right on this one to get off on this street. So it was plenty times I got off on the wrong thing.
Yep, or you fall asleep and
that's the worst. Or leave something on the bus. Worst.
Oh yeah. And what got you into music initially?
Well, my whole life I was in the church, and I used to have to sing a lot.
Okay.
I hated it because I always had the same voice I have now. I've had since I was a kid.
Gotcha.
So I've always had problems with adjusting to it because I didn't really like having a deep voice like that. But
I feel you.
But my mom would make me sing solos with my cousin, and that was kind of where the singing started, and the aspect of that. So from that, it just kind of just was always in my life, I would say. I always been doing music. It's always been a good part of my life as far as I remember a lot of things if it's a song. I still remember songs from kindergarten.
Yeah.
And anything, any little random song or something that caught my ears. I feel like I was them type of learners where I'm good at hearing something, and if it turns into a song, I can memorize it better or something like that, So
yeah,
music has kind of always just been in my life. I would say it started though probably around 5, 6.
Okay.
That was when I was really in the church having to sing and all that,
Yeah. And was anybody else in your family very musical, like your mom or anything like that, or are you the first generation of musician?
Well, I mean,
I guess musical artist.
As far as artist wise, I would say, I don't know. That's kind of a hard one because it's I wouldn't say they're artists, but they all just are into music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of a big part because as far as my grandma, you know what I'm saying? She changed her name to Melody. Melody Love.
Okay, yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then named her first daughter, my auntie, Harmony.
Okay.
And my uncle, his name was Rhythm.
Oh, okay.
But they didn't like their name, so they ended up changing it later. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. And then my auntie Nike, her name is Nike. But it's actually, I looked it up, Nike is actually the goddess of music. Which nobody knows that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that until I asked my grandma why she named mom. Because my auntie was born like around the same time Nike, that actual company, came out, but like she didn't name my auntie that because of that. So I was wondering why. But yeah, I guess it's the goddess of music.
Damn.
So like it's tight to me. Like, and my name, like my real name, actually has Nike in it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah. So you like, even though they weren't musical artists per se, that music has been a pretty heavy element in your family for a long time now.
Pretty much. And like my grandpa used to ride around with a banjo and his own tape cassette and all that on some hippie stuff.
Yeah.
And like my aunties and all them sung in the choirs and all, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, as far as trying to pursue like a career with it, I would only say my cousin Brittany was the one I used to sing solos with. He was the one that kind of was trying to do that, but then things didn't work out or whatever the case may be. And then my older brother, he's the one that taught me like the whole basics of music.
Gotcha.
So, like how to write a bar and how to count a bar and how to find the beat and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of just like naturally, but on top of having the right blueprint behind it, you know?
No, totally. And then when did you transition more into like the like R&B and rap and hip hop part of music?
It was like, at first, me and my brother started a group. It was called like the Luciano Brothers. We tried to be like on some soprano, you know what I'm saying? So, but I didn't know how to like write music then, but I was the singer out of the group. Like none of my brothers, they can't sing like that. Like I'm the one that can actually sing.
Yeah.
So like my brother would just write me my lyrics, you know what I'm saying? So then once he taught me how to do that, it was kind of like, and then he encouraged me to freestyle more. So whenever we would be freestyling, he would like make sure whoever's in the room with us to just hop into freestyle. So even if you didn't do music, he'd be like, you got 2 bars, just say 2 bars. So then like I kind of got more comfortable with freestyling too. And then that was kind of when I just took off and started doing everything by myself instead of having to ask him to write it for me. I started singing first. First I was like more R&B. But then rapping was kind of more easier to like put it together because R&B has a lot to do with emotion.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to kind of put my own emotion into my own music at times. So I kind of lean more rapping first.
Okay.
And then getting older, I kind of more of the R&B into it, you know?
Hell yeah. No, I dig that. And now before we get into more of what you're doing with music in the present day, I do have a couple foundation questions I like to check in with everybody on. This first one, it's one we ask early, it's one we ask often, and it's definitely a crowd favorite. What was the first album you ever bought with your own money?
Oh, that's funny because I was just talking about that. You want to know?
Yeah.
Ashanti Foolish, that album. That's the first actual physical copy I ever. I begged my mom to, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Actually had a Walkman and took that to school every day. Like, I don't know. I had a crush on her. That was also like a great album. Like, probably one of the best albums to me as far as from beginning to end. You can listen to the whole thing without pausing or stopping or not listening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that's a quality choice. And I mean, I wish I heard her name more often.
Yeah, she's like, definitely underrated.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. And then what was one of the first live shows you ever went to? That was like specifically one you wanted to go to. So like you saw what was happening, got tickets and went to it.
Crazy thing is I've never been to a concert.
Oh, damn.
Like ever.
Whoa.
I've never been to a concert. Like anybody big or any, I've been to shows, of course, a little random.
Yeah.
But I've never actually been to like a Motor Center thing or like even at the like, was that one downtown Paris Theater or whatever that was. I've never been to one. So I'm kind of excited to go to one, but I don't know. I kind of feel like God is manifesting it for me to be at my own concert.
Interesting.
Like for my concert. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like that for some reason, but when it happens, I can't wait because I do want to go to one. I always ask people, do you stand up? Do you sit down? Do you do this? Do you that? They're like, it's just a regular.
You do whatever you want.
I always felt like you had to just stay there and like you was watching a movie or something.
No, I feel that. I'm about to go to my first Moda Center show, and I'm kind of like curious about that because I usually don't do like that show. I kind of like, you know, for me it's like the Crystal Ballroom is like the size of like to go to.
Whose show is?
I'm gonna go see Childish Gambino.
Oh, that's gonna be dope.
I kind of
he's dope.
Had to. I've been talking about it on the show forever, so I kind of had to.
Just him or
Willow is going to be there as well, and then there's one other person touring with him whose name I've completely forgotten at the moment.
That's gonna be dope.
It's going to be a good show, and I tried to get like the best seats I could.
Yeah.
I'm getting too old. I can't be standing all the time.
Yeah.
But like, I'm super excited for that. But
That's tight.
this isn't my interview. This is yours. So let's get back into it.
That's definitely dope.
And before we officially get into you in the present day, do you have a defining moment where you decided you wanted to take music more seriously? And I mean, granted, obviously you've been in it since pretty young, so I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't one.
I would probably say like, once I hit like, because I used to want to be in the NBA before anything. Like, basketball is my first love. Like, I still love it till this day, you know what I'm saying? But once I realized, like, this ain't going to be, I can't go to the NBA, the chances of that was kind of more when I started leaning more onto to that aspect, I guess, as far as trying to get paid or something for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to play basketball, but music is just feel like, I don't know, it's just something that I feel like is just natural on top of that, and I wouldn't mind getting paid for it. So
no, totally. All right, well then let's go ahead and let's dive into you in the present day. And you already kind of said the answer to this, but it's part of the format, so we're gonna put it here again. How'd you pick the name?
Well, my middle name is actually Raimone.
Okay.
So I just always kind of like that was my rap name or from the beginning. So I kind of just, at first it was Fly Guy Raimone, but then when Nipsey died, it kind of like, that was like the only artist I felt like I listened to that I related to the most. And as far as like, he helped me through all these hard times and all that. And at first I was going to go Raimone Hussle, but then I knew people was going to give me hell for that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're trying to blah, blah, blah. So I just put the hustle in front of it. And most people don't even really ask about the hustle.
Yeah.
After that, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy how that kind of worked out.
Yeah. If you had put it second, they would have
definitely
you're been like
Nipsey Jr. And all this. And it's like, I don't ever try to be nobody else. It's just my biggest inspiration.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's kind of like you're paying homage.
Yeah.
By having it in the name. No, I could dig that.
But I could see why people would say Raimone Hussle. You know, oh, you're trying to. So that's why I was like, I'm gonna just put the hustle in front.
No,
it's kind of like I'm telling myself to hustle, like Hussle Raimone. You know what I'm saying? So
you should just throw an apostrophe or not an apostrophe, a comma in there.
Yeah,
one of those guys like
that too. That's kind of a good idea. I might have to. I might do that for like a album thing, like with the.
Okay, yeah, that'd be a cool album because then. I really dig that.
That's you just put me on. I'm going to do that. That's going to be dope.
Well, that's here now. It's in your episode. So
yeah, and don't forget who told you.
Yeah. Just make sure.
Don't forget it was Jimmy.
In the little thanks.
I'm gonna tag you in it too.
Hell yeah. But now let's go ahead. Let's talk about your writing process a little bit, and we're gonna break it up into chunks. But we're gonna start right at the beginning. When you get inspired, you're ready to make music.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you do to get a track started?
I mean, honestly. I just play, like, it's kind of like what I'm going through at the time. So, like, I really just kind of, like, play a beat, find one that I feel like really is, like, talking to me more so, because I usually have a lot of selections of beats, but then I just go through them all and kind of figure out, like, how my emotion is at the time. And then once I get that, it's kind of like, I come up with a hook real fast. Like, all my friends and everybody else, they tell me that I, like, write too fast. Only because I had to teach myself, like, freestyling is like you miss a lot of stuff when you freestyle. So that's why I write everything as soon as I say it now, because it's kind of like the same thing, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I do that. I start with the emotion, then I start with the hook, of course, then just write the verse into it or whatever. But it's like I do it fast. I ain't gonna lie, my process is pretty fast. Like I have a lot of songs and a lot of, like, I would say, a lot of songs in a lot of like different categories of stuff. So it's like I go through a lot and I really don't talk to people a lot. So like it's kind of like I always have something on my mind. So it's like I just put on a beat kind of. Sometimes I just listen to instrumentals and not even like write nothing, like just to like think.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I feel that. And as far as like beat selection goes, do you like go online for them? Do you have people?
Yeah, well, I have people that do beats, but I need more, honestly.
Yeah.
But most of the time I just go to YouTube, you know what I'm saying? And then I kind of have like the same type of artist that I subscribe to. But I have a few homies that do beats too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just, honestly, anybody watching this, man, send them beats, man. We need them beats, man. Period. You know?
And as far as like the words go, are you like, do you like literally like write down things like pen and paper, or do you just like try and capture them as soon as you can?
I pretty much put it in my phone.
Okay.
But writing it down pretty much. Like
Yeah.
pen and pad
That's just the modern day pen
Yeah.
and paper, you know what I mean? Yeah, but I feel that. But did you freestyle for a while and then like move over to that, or have you always kind of been a writing it down kind of guy?
I mean, I've kind of always been a writing. Like I could freestyle too, but I don't know. I just like writing because it feels more organized.
Yeah.
Like, cause I ain't gonna lie. Like I know a lot of people that do freestyle and stuff too, which they're dope.
Yeah.
But sometimes when it comes to freestyling and writing, the only difference to me would be if you have a certain like chorus.
Mm-hmm.
Freestyling, you're going to eventually start to ramble about something that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Which it's still going to be tight, and nowadays people ain't going to really call you out on it or whatever the case may be. But me, I like to tell it from like beginning to end type of story. So like I want every single bar to kind of like poetry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I want it to be like this person did this and then they went here and then they did this and then they, instead of like this person went here and then over here they cousin or something, you know what I'm saying? It changes to a whole nother, which is not, I'm not knocking nobody that do that, you know what I'm saying? It's just my process. This is how I do it, you know what I'm saying? So,
No, definitely.
but I don't know. I just encourage people who do freestyle to try and write because it makes you more undefeated. Ain't nobody really can see you if you can freestyle and you can write it down and put it all organized, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, there's definitely there's powerful elements of both of them for sure. And I mean, I'm in the same boat as you. I like to put stuff down before I do it because I'm just, my brain moves a little bit faster than my mouth does, so I can't get all the words out the right way. But now let's go ahead and let's talk about your music a little bit. And I was looking for your stuff on Spotify and things like that, and I noticed you don't like exactly have anything up front when you like go straight to you, but you have been on everything. You have so many things that you're a part of.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it also depends, like when you typed it in on Spotify, did you type it in all together?
I typed it in first as one word, then as two words. And I found you, but it like I said, on Spotify itself, I like didn't see anything specific.
Oh, okay.
I did find you on many things. Many things. So first of all, you've got a fair amount of stuff done with Bon Wavy. Shut up, Bon Wavy.
Yeah, that's my cousin. My cousin.
Yeah, and like you've got a couple single features on Back to the Basics on Bon Wavy and Friends, and then you're also like most of the Sunshine tapes.
Well, yeah. Well, that was kind of like both of ours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I kind of just did all the choruses, you know what I'm saying? But that's kind of old, I ain't gonna lie.
No, but then I was also checking out the stuff you have on YouTube. And, I saw that you had tracks with like, there was Go Hard with Jay Bleezy. And on even, is it Evans Flow or Evans Flow?
Evan.
Yeah, on Evans Flows, you got Lowrider, Feel Your Style.
Oh, yeah, whole lot of features.
Yeah. But one thing that really stood out to me, and you kind of already touched on it, you do have some awesome choruses. Like melodically, you are really put together, but also, and I do this bit where I pick out a personal track that I liked. And while, Bon Wavy is a friend of the show, I'm a big fan of funk. I'm a big fan of Talkbox. That's kind of what I like main in as far as instruments goes. So I had to go with Lowrider. And your verse on Lowrider is really good. Like, and kind of how you said you structure the songs and such, like, you're very put together. Like, the way that you present stuff, the like movements that you have, and just like it feels very thought out. Yeah, but it doesn't feel like you like read off of it. You know what I mean? It felt very concise. It felt very put together. And again, your hooks in general are just really good. Like you have a really strong like R&B and melodic element to you. But I am curious to know, because it sounds like you do have some music, and I didn't do a good enough job.
Yeah, I mean, because I have a lot. I do need to change it on there because it's like all together, and that kind of like might throw people.
Gotcha. Okay, so I may have just not found it with the right thing.
But yeah, I have at least like 5 or 6 different like projects.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying, on Apple Music, Spotify, and on YouTube. You know what I'm saying, but.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I usually tend to more of the courses because I like courses anyway. But at the same time, like most people like that anyway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but I do have some new. I got a new song coming out on the 30th though.
Yeah, and actually before we touch on that one, I usually like to check in with people and see what is your favorite song of yours.
Oh, that's hard. That's a hard one.
Yeah.
I would actually say one of my favorites is hold on, let's think, because nobody's ever really asked me that question before. I would say the song that I had dedicated to my cousin Jay Bleezy and my dad, it was called Faith.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of more of a it's like a R&B Drake-ish type of, like, you know what I'm saying, kind of sentimental in the aspect, like an R&B type of song. But that one, honestly, I like them all, but
that's fair.
I'll probably say the ones that I like the most is the ones that people really ain't gonna really like.
You know what
I'm saying? That's usually how it goes, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I like all of it, honestly. Like,
hell yeah. No, I could dig that. And now let's go ahead and tell us about your new track.
Oh yeah, I got a new song coming out on the 30th. You could go pre-save it or preview it on my page. My link's in the bio on my Instagram. It's called Remember Days. It's pretty much a song about me just reminiscing about all the old times and missing my old self, and you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure everybody can relate as far as like missing who you used to be, as far as the good times where you didn't have to worry about things and everything was just seemed peachy type, you know? So, but yeah, definitely check that out. It's definitely, I'm about to try to drop a little visual thing soon too, before the 30th, so people could get more of it, you know?
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I've already got a pre-save, so I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Definitely.
And then let's take a step back. Let's look at kind of music as a whole. Now, for this, it's either you can base your answer off of like new music. So like if you're one of those people that listens to stuff that comes out right now, or if you just, whatever's new to you. So stuff you found recently. But what are some of the things about newer music that you enjoy and you're finding inspiration from right now?
I would say, to me, I like the ones where it's really just, you could tell that it's real and they like putting their emotion into it in the aspect of like, I know there's that music where it's just a feel good, you know what I'm saying? You know, it don't really matter type of thing, which those songs is dope too, as far as like going places and about to go do stuff. But I still like the music that speaks to the heart, you know? The one where you listen to it and you could kind of close your eyes and envision something, if it ain't what they talking about, something that has to do with your life type of thing, you know?
Yeah. So. No, I dig that for sure. And now, before we get into the next part, which is all hypothetical questions, this next question is probably the densest one in the interview. But, we've talked a lot about your experiences with music, the actions, the reactions. But when it's just you and the music one-on-one, what does music give back to you?
Peace of mind. It gives me back my peace of mind, and it gives me back relief, because I don't really talk to people about my personal problems. Like I'm pretty like private until you get to know me. I'm gonna be vocal, but I'm not gonna really tell you about what I'm going through. It's gonna seem like everything's good.
Yeah.
Music is like the only thing that like, it's my therapist, and it's also like just me listening back to myself. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's pretty much that for me though, like peace of mind and therapy. So it kind of just gives me back faith and like hope, you know?
Yeah, no, I could dig that. And actually, you kind of touched on it off camera, but you were saying how like for you, music kind of like let you kind of relive these moments.
Yeah.
And that's something somebody recently said, and it really kind of sat with me. There's just the opportunity for music to like kind of like bookmark moments in your life.
Yeah.
As soon as you hear that song, you get to just pull back to. And 90% of the time, making music is always a good moment. You know what I mean? Even if it comes from a tough place, like the actual act of making it is always really positive. So that opportunity to create it and live that moment every time you hear it or somebody else checks it out and you get to experience it with them, that's always really powerful.
Yeah, definitely. And nowadays, it's like, I don't really do the camera thing type.
Yeah.
So it's like the music is kind of like my camera, and the aspect of it takes me, like you said, it takes you back, puts you in that moment that you wish you had recorded though at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Man, I gotta tell you, even though, the irony, I've never been a big camera person myself. Like this is kind of the only moment in time that you can see of me. But like, even when I like go through my phone, it's always pictures of stuff and not me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm always the one taking the picture.
So old school too. Like all this stuff came out Like, just imagine if we had Snapchats and stuff when we was in middle school.
That would have been a nightmare.
It would have been a lot of people in jail, a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep.
Like, and just little stuff. It just, so it's like, I'm kind of glad that we came up on that aspect too. But
Yeah.
I don't really like how much, it's taking a toll on the new generation though. Like,
I think it's something that, like I said, it's gonna be a pendulum that swings. Like eventually it's gonna kind of fizzle out a little bit. It kind of has to.
Yeah.
That's just where it's getting to. But that's a discussion for a whole another podcast. So let's go ahead and get on to this next part, which is all hypothetical questions. And for this, sky's the limits. The questions are all made up, so the answers are allowed to be as well. But this first one's pretty straightforward. If you could work with any one person, the only requirement is they have to be alive. Who would you want to work with, and how would you want to work with them?
Damn, that's a hard one. Honestly, I would probably say Chris Brown.
Okay.
And I would probably write the hook for him to sing and then let him write his own verse.
Interesting.
I would want to see how he bring my lyrics to life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know he gonna do it dope.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I don't know, he's one of my favorites, or I would say Post Malone.
Okay.
Because those are two, like Post Malone's one of my favorite writers ever. You know what I'm saying? I like him as far as like, he's a dope artist, and he makes dope music. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably say them two.
Man, have they done a track together yet?
That's a good question. I don't
think they have. Everybody, everybody at them in the comments. Let's see if we can get that one
would
track
be a
together.
dope track. You actually.
Hell yeah. And then subsequently, who's a local artist that you're aware of that you haven't gotten to connect with yet, but you would like to?
I would say probably like Mike Capes.
Okay.
Vinny Dwayne.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Swiggle too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out Swiggle.
I don't know. That's probably, I can't really think of too many, but
those are three really good answers.
Yeah, you know.
Hell yeah.
Kind of like grew up with them on the, like we known each other since we was, but everybody did their own thing. But yeah, those probably be the three, my top three, I would say.
No, I dig that. And then for this next one, like I said before, sky's the limit, and it's pretty literal in this sense. But if you could perform anywhere in the world, and you wouldn't have to worry about crowd access or building stability or power, it was guaranteed the best lineup, guaranteed the best show, and it doesn't have to be a venue. It could be anywhere. Where would you want to perform?
Damn, that's you asking some tough ones. Let's see. Of course, I would probably say like probably like Rome or something.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or Paris or something like that. Let's see. Of course, like New York or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somewhere in New York.
Hey, Madison Square Garden's there.
That would be pretty dope too.
Yeah.
Or what's that one place? Of course, Cali. Of course, Cali. You know what I'm saying? But Africa, I'll go to Africa too. Do something out there. You know what I'm saying? I really never thought of nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But I would probably say like Rome or Italy or something, or Paris or Greece or something like that, or maybe even Dubai. That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah. No, it's definitely wild out there. Now, what I think it's interesting, because I ask everybody that question. That's, part of the format. But most of the people who have like lived here their whole life, they usually default to the Moda Center. So I think it's interesting that you picked.
Yeah, you said
like
the whole world.
Yeah, you like actually like, so that was kind of a cool answer to the question, because like I said, a lot of people who've like stayed here the whole time, they're like, I want to do this for this. So I really appreciate that answer. And then to wrap up the hypothetical questions, if you could get one more album from anybody, they could be alive, they could be dead, they could have not put out an album in 100 years, they could have put out an album yesterday. Who would you want an album from?
You already know, Nipsey Hussle, man.
Yes,
I'm sad I ain't gonna never hear another Nipsey verse.
No, I feel that.
That's weak. Otherwise, I would say Tupac, of course.
Yeah. Well, I'd say, like, especially right now, I think a Nipsey album would have really, like, It would have really made a difference.
Yeah,
not that his music was never not impactful, but like I think right now we could have definitely really used one.
Definitely, man.
Oh yeah. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start wrapping this up.
Yes, sir.
What can we look forward to between, let's say, now and February?
I mean, now in February, I'm definitely about to be dropping a lot of music. Definitely working on these videos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to get this whole videographer thing figured out, but definitely more music, more everything. I'm about to try to start a YouTube channel. I'm about to try to do a lot of things. So just be looking out for me. I'm coming up. You know what I'm saying? I'm slowly but surely. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel that.
But definitely more music. So
hell yeah. And then for this next one, go and look straight at the camera. Tell everybody how they can find you.
You can find me at Hussle Raimone, HUSSLE_RAIMONE. That's for my Instagram. Sorry. But for everything else, you know, same thing. But when you look at me up on music, you type in Hussle Raimone all together, HUSSLERAIMONE. Got music on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, SoundCloud, anything you need. I got music on TikTok, you know what I'm saying? So check me out.
Hell yeah. And definitely I'll make sure to put all the links to where everything is at down the bottom. I'm sorry that I didn't find it this time. I usually do my digging, but that one was on me.
I mean, I do need to figure. I got to change the little things.
I gotcha. And then any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you want to put on while you're on here?
I mean, shout out Jimmy, of course.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? He got it going. Shout out my cousin Bon Wavy. Shout out to all the local artists, you know what I'm saying? Keep doing your thing. Big ups. We all on our way. Shout out 90 Breeze. Shout out, you know what I'm saying? Bishop Lucania. Shout out Gambit Sinatra. Shout out Number One Stunner. Everybody, man. Shout out Portland.
Hell yeah. All right. With that being said, we've got one last question to go. But before we do, I'm going to steal the camera for just a second.
Go ahead.
As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do. And I trust you. And one more shout out to the Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, the final question. And this is entirely up to your interpretation. But what is an album you feel is more on the obscure side? So it's a deep cut. It's one not a lot of people would know, but it's one you think everybody should know.
Out of mine?
Just out of music.
Just in general?
Yeah.
Damn, that's a tough one. I would say, I'm going to go way back though. Lyfe Jennings' first album. That album was like probably one of the dopest albums ever. Nobody really if you listen to that album from beginning to end, he's telling the story through the whole thing to the point where even at the end of the songs, he's letting you know what he's about to talk about in the next song, and the next song goes into it.
Oh, damn.
That's where he kind of made me get my mixtape game up as far as or album-wise, putting it all together and making it go. Like, it starts with this. Towards the end of the song, he hints what he's going to talk about next. Then he starts it out with that and keep doing it. So I would say Lyfe Jennings' album. I think it's called, some type of date, 14.3, something. I forgot, but definitely tap into that. That's definitely one of those underrated ones I feel like is really dope, you know?
Yeah, that's one I haven't heard of, so I'm actually super excited to check it out. So thank you for that, Rec. All right, but with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get up on out of here. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. Appreciate you. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you, man. And this has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. I'm Jimmy.
I'm Hussle Raimone.
And we're signing off. Later, y'all.
That's a wrap. This is not a podcast. This is a show. Keep jamming.